Hey y'all, welcome back to the Southern Cottage. I'm Connie, and there seems to be a little bit of misunderstanding about the way I price and tell people to price. And this is not I'm coming at anybody. I probably didn't explain myself as well. So let's try this again, right? When I say cost times 3, the cost to make the mum, right? The cost to make the product, okay? That's 1/3 of what you charge. 1/3 goes back into the business to expand, to grow your business, to purchase things that are going to help you with time management, a ribbon cutter, right? An extra glue gun, a new Cricut, a laptop to do all your stuff on, you know, whatever it is that you want to expand to make your life easier. And then the other third is profit. Okay? Now, where does your pay come in? Whenever I initially explained this, I explained that profit is pay, and it is. But it's not the only place that you get profit from. Now, I need y'all to understand that I teach people how to make mums. I teach people how to cook. I teach people how to decorate cookies. I do not teach people business, right? I am answering a question that people asked of me with the way that I do things, right? Never once have I said that I was a business expert. Okay? Absolutely I am not. So when I say the cost to make that product, what some people or most people are here, are you kidding me? Okay. I'm going to leave that in because what you just saw was me flipping out because my mini split is dripping water down onto my Cricut, my electric. So yeah, hence another reason for the cost times 3. 1/3 of that goes to build your business and to pay for stuff when shit happens, right? Like that. I don't know if my Cricut's messed up or not, but you know what? This is the second time it's done that. And I've been told it's because it's too big for this room, right? But I don't think that's it. Anyway, along with not being a business person, I'm also not an HVAC person. So, let's get back to it. What do you consider, and this is where the confusion is coming in, right? What do you consider the cost of making that mum? I thought that this was common sense, and I didn't think that I needed to explain it this in depth. But that's what I get for thinking. I forget that some people haven't been in business for years and years and years. And I apologize. And that's not me being facetious. It's not me being petty or ugly. I just didn't think that I needed to go this in depth with it. But here we go, right? it's not just what it costs me to put together an individual mum, right? It's the cost of doing business. So it's the cost to get the product to me, whether the raw product, the ribbon, the bling, all of that stuff, whether I go spend half a day out doing my shopping, or I have it shipped to me and I pay for shipping. That is all figured into the cost of doing business. My light bill, my separate internet for this YouTube channel, because sharing it with 20 other devices is not very good. So I got my own in here. That is a cost of doing business. So yeah, light bill, water bill. And y'all need to remember, I cater out of here. Through that door is my catering kitchen, right? I use a lot of water. And my mom business and my catering business are all together. So the building itself, my business taxes on the property, my property taxes, anything that it costs me to run this business is figured into the cost of that mum. So just because it only took me $10 to fit in actual physical product does not mean the cost to make that mum is $10. The cost to make that mum is all the cost of doing business, my insurance, my liability, gas, mileage on my vehicle, all of that is the cost of doing business. And you know what else is the cost of doing business? My time. My time. And I don't want to just get paid hourly, right? We should be grateful for what we have, right? But we should always strive for more. Here's the thing. If I only made what I got paid hourly, my business would never go anywhere. It would never go anywhere. Because I would be doing the same thing over and over again, right? Same thing. The only way to be better and to have better and to have more and to have the more expensive cameras and things like that is to invest it back in the business, right? But I still have personal bills to pay. Personal bills. So I have to have my hourly. Plus, I have to have a profit in the business. Okay? So the cost of actually physically building this mum includes my hourly pay. And this may seem high to some people. It may seem low to others. I don't work for less than $25 an hour. Now, because I also want to put more money back into my business. Okay? And I don't need to make $100 an hour to take care of my bills and to put groceries on the table and to pay for my truck. I don't need that. And could I do $50 an hour? Sure. Am I worth that? Absolutely. Absolutely. But I also have to take into account where I live and what this area will cover. And this area won't cover the cost of me making $50 an hour. Right? But I refuse to work for less than 25. Unless I am giving a discount. But that is going to come off of my cost of doing business at the end of the year. Okay? So there are so many different things. What did Amanda say? Different variables that go into this. And I will not stand here and say that I am a business guru. I am not. I'm not. But I will tell you that this formula has worked for me. In the beginning, I was undercharging, way undercharging, because I was doing it for fun, y'all. It wasn't a business. I worked full time. Crafting was my getaway. Now it's a job. It's a job that I come to every single day, every single night. If I'm either in there doing my catering, or I'm cookies, cakes, whatever, or I'm in here crafting. This is my job. And I wouldn't even call it a 9 to 5. It's a 24/7 job. Because I am the boss. I am the chief cook, bottle washer, boss, mum maker, ribbon cutter, assembly. 99% of the time, well, now that Michael's retired, I'd say about 75% of the time, I am a one-woman show. Right? Even if I don't physically have to do all the work, I mentally have to do all the work and instruct everybody to do it. So, which sometimes is just as bad or worse. So, anyway, I don't have to get rich off of one person. Yeah, we can do budget. We can do budget. But we shouldn't do low quality. And I do budget all the time. I do budget all the time. But listen, if you have business questions, go speak to an accountant, okay? What I share with you is what works for me. And this business, which most of it, mumming is not my homecoming mums buys Christmas, it pays for vacations, things like that, right? But I do not count on homecoming mums to pay my regular bills. My caterings do that. I can work for 2 days on a catering and make just as much money and profit as I did all season making mums. That's what pays my bills. Now, I don't shortchange myself in here either. Because when I take a mum order, that makes it to where I can't do all of that as much as I need to, right? Do you see the difference there? Do you see how there is not one single way for anybody to tell you how to price your product? There are so many different things that come into play. And everyone, and I do mean everyone's situation, is different. It is completely different. We might have the same product. And I'm just using this as an example, y'all. This ribbon, doesn't matter what it is, $3.99 at Hobby Lobby. You went and bought that for $3.99 at Hobby Lobby. Guess what? I got the same ribbon for 99 cents. I mean, you paid $4. I paid a quarter of what you just paid. So, anyway, I hope that might have cleared some things up. Cost times 3 absolutely does work. You just have to know what your actual cost is. Anyway, don't take my word for it. Ask somebody that does money. Ask them. That's what I did. And I'm telling you, but I got off track. This catering business, y'all, lived through COVID. everything I did from there back relied on gathering, right? It relied on people gathering to eat and to have cookies and do classes and birthday parties and everything else. And in 1 second, that just all disappeared. But you know what? She's still here. She's still here. And we're still going strong. Took us a little bit to get out of it, but we never died. Right? We figured out other ways to make money. But, like I said, ask somebody who is in business. And ask your tax person. All the deductions that you take, that you're able to take, that is a cost of doing business. That is a cost of doing business, and you put that in to your cost times 3. You put your hourly pay into your cost times 3. Now, I'm not going to tell you what to charge hourly. I'm not going to do it, because we're all at different levels in this game. Not one of us is better than the other. I'm telling you what I'm not willing to spend time away from my family for, right? $25 is the minimum. You make that choice for yourself. You have to know your worth. So, anyway, all right, y'all. Go make some dang mums. Make some mums. Ask a business professional how you need to price your stuff and what needs to go all into your cost of doing business. And go from there. Make the decisions that's right for you. All right. Thank y'all for joining me. If you're not subscribed, please do so. Click the bell so you're notified every time that I upload or that I go live. I will see y'all very soon. Bye.